It's Mike Jones, iHeartRadio. We're going to have a fun chat about the new movie, We Are the Thousand, about the Rockin' 1000, playing Learn to Fly, and getting the Foo Fighters to do a show in Cesena, Italy. And from the movie, we have, well, the organizer of the Rockin' 1000, the man behind it all, Fabio Zaffagnini, and the director of the film, Anita Rivaroli. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure for us.
So Fabio, how and when did you come up with this idea, this crazy notion that, all right, I'm going to put together 1,000 musicians. I'm going to get the Foo Fighters here to Italy. How did this idea come into your brain?
Well, it was almost a joke, to put on this stunt, this crazy thing. It was a joke among friends. And the idea popped out like this. I mean, out of nowhere, I had this dream of seeing my favorite band in my hometown. They would have never come in normal conditions. So I came up with this idea, but I didn't know where to start. So I asked all my friends to help me organizing all this, make a video out of it, how to record, how to gather so many people. And so we started building this entire project like step by step. And we got to some point when we could not move back. So we decided to continue, and everything just went out of control. I mean, it's been an incredible experience and an incredible story.
Anita, what did you think when Fabio came to you with this idea? Were you like, what are you talking about, getting 1,000 people and then the Foo Fighters here? What do you mean? That's never going to happen.
Yeah, sure. I was totally shocked. Actually, it was summer. I can recall we were in a beach or in a bar, maybe close to the beach. And I thought, okay, this is another crazy idea from Fabio, because he's used to have these crazy ideas. And yeah, at the very beginning, I thought, okay, it's a joke. I mean, let's talk about that. But I didn't took it seriously. But he insisted. So yeah, we decided to try to make it out. And we did it.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. How long, Fabio, from coming up with this idea, did it go till the Rockin' 1000 played Learn to Fly and then the Foo Fighters coming to play for you guys? So what was the time frame in between each of those?
Well, I had this idea. It was at the beginning of summer in 2014. It took like 5 months to gather all the people helping out and all the team, and we did some planning. We created a video to launch this crowdfunding and crowdsourcing campaign. So it was about 5 months. Then another 6 or 7 months to find the money, find musicians, and so on. And it took like 2 days for Anita and her crew to work like day and night to create the video of the Learn to Fly video. And Dave, I guess he replied in like 2 days. So once we launched it, it's been really, really quick, really quick.
And Anita, when you had this idea and looking at the scope of this, you're like, wow, 1,000 musicians, like 1,000 people is a big crowd as it is, but then 1,000 people with drums, guitars, basses, microphones, this massive wall of sound where you just like, how am I going to put this all on film? That had to be so intimidating. This isn't a scene in a room with, just 2 people, a couple microphones and a camera. This is a full on huge production.
Yes. I was really scared at the beginning, but I decided to take a challenge one by one. So at the very beginning, my task was to shoot the video, the video that went viral. And, as you can see from the movie, we didn't have so much money. So I had to ask my friends, my colleagues, to come and join me in Cesena and help me. So I was, I had a team of 10 camera operators with me, and my DOP. So I try to collect my crew, but because the project was so crazy, and anyone never tried to do that. So this colleague joined, freely in a way, because they wanted to try, they wanted to see how it will happen. So that's how it went in 2015 when we shoot the video, the stunt. And after that, came, you know, the documentary, the proper project of a film. And it took more time, a different kind of organization and production. But at the very beginning, we were like a punk crew of operators.
But that was probably, I'm going to guess, shooting the documentary part was easy compared to getting all the musicians and everything. You're like, I got that already done. This is a piece of cake at this point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely that. The big effort was at the beginning, was really, really hard that day for everyone, actually, not just for my department, but also for everyone.
Yeah, but I remember at the beginning when before like filming the performance, I was asking Anita, how are you going to organize all the camera operators and so on? Because 1,000 people is a lot. And she told me that she was inspired by the Ben-Hur production. It was like one of those colossal movies from the 60s, maybe with like thousands of people in the movie. So she had to organize all these techniques with all the money and the funds that we had. And I was kind of fascinated about simply the track of every single take. It was interesting.
How many times did the original Rockin' 1000 play Learn to Fly? That was it a couple times, and then you took the best footage from each of those takes, Anita, or how did that work?
Actually, I remember we did 7 takes, which means we repeated the song 7 times. So I had a huge amount of footage from where I could pick up. But another thing was that the sun was shining, going down. So we need to go shoot it very fast because, you know, the light was changing. And I can say that the 1,000 rehearsal all the afternoon. By the time we had to took, you know, the good shooting were just on sunset. So yeah, it was a very short time for the footage. And but it was, you know, it was always the energy that were there, not only among the musicians, which were absolutely electrified, but between us, the organizer, because we had a lot of stress along the month because we needed to succeed in this performance, and it was really stressful the days before. But when we were there, you know, just as a miracle, the energy just poured out, and we felt good, and we felt that maybe we could manage it. So yeah.
Fabio, how did you feel? You said it just took, when you guys finished that first video of Learn to Fly, you sent it out, and then 2 days later, Dave Grohl sends you a video back, and not just a video, he said it in Italian too, which his was much better than me even trying to pronounce your last name at the beginning of our interview here. That had to just blow you guys away. Like, oh my God, this is going to happen.
Yeah, I went back to my office. I back then I was a geologist, so my job was completely different, and I started receiving texts from my friends saying, "Hey, you have to see this. You have to see this," and it just blew my mind. I almost fell off my chair. I could not believe it. It was so weird. I felt like being in a bubble. You know, when you ask yourself, is this really happening right now to me and to my friends? It's been crazy. And even now, I mean, we did like we went on doing many things, but if I think back of those days, it seemed crazy. I cannot find a real limit between reality and dream, you know, that in a way I feel that.
You had one crazy idea that changed all of your lives forever. And this is something that people in the town and all through Italy and all around the world are going to remember forever, what you guys did just doing that. That's got to make you all feel really proud, and how this all came together, and still more now with the new documentary that's out today here in the US, We Are the 1,000. It's incredible for all of you guys.
Yeah, for me, it's like what happened is like I feel it like it was a blessing, you know, a real blessing.
Were you guys nervous? So when do you remember what month it was when you filmed Learn to Fly?
It was end of July, and the 26th of July, 2015.
So you had the ball rolling, you have your 1,000 musicians, and then not long before that, Dave Grohl, everyone remembers he fell off the stage in Sweden and broke his leg. And did that make you guys say, "Oh my God, we really want to do this, but this could really put a big wrench in the plans"?
Yeah, but I mean, it was probably it wasn't just about the Foo Fighters anymore. At some time, we wanted to prove something that from the bottom, when we're all together, working together with the same goal, we can achieve incredible results. And this message that lays behind this is so strong and so bigger than just inviting the Foo Fighters that we decided to move on, whatever happened. And yeah, I think it wasn't just about Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters anymore at some point.
Anita, when you were filming the 1,000 people, when they were playing Learn to Fly, did you find like you gravitated towards some musicians? You're like, wow, that guy on the drums there, the girl singing, like, could you tell like, wow, they're really into it. I need to get them as a specific part of this documentary. Like, did people stand out to you when you were looking at them through the camera lens and seeing that?
Yeah, I mean, it was while we were shooting, so we were just seeing all these faces that they were smiling, singing, sweating, like hugging each other. It was absolutely something that we never tried and felt before, because it was like a little Woodstock in Italy, you know, people so happy together. So I was looking at these faces, and at that day, I didn't know everyone. I mean, I knew some musician, and in the pause between one rehearsal and another, we had the time to talk, to know each other. So it was there that I started to know these people, and I keep asking, for example, just where you come from. So I understood many people were coming from miles and miles away. So that meant that they drove at their own expenses just to be there. And I found, you know, like a multitude of people from different social background, like they are doing different jobs. There were little children, like teenagers, but also grown-ups, like, 65 years old, that they were old musicians. So it was like, humanity all together, very different from each other, different beliefs, but united by music, because they were all enjoying a lot being there. And that was fantastic.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's something I wanted to bring up, of how it's one of my favorite parts of music. How, I'm sure, Fabio, you've seen it with the Rockin' 1000 shows and everything. You get people of so many age ranges coming, and they focus on this part of the show or this memory. And it's just so great that music brings everybody together. There's no race, religion, color. It's just all of us enjoying music. And that's one of the best things about seeing all those different people playing Learn to Fly. Not, like you said, it's not really just about the Foo Fighters. It's coming together and doing something really special.
Yeah, it's something that I didn't really think about when I was organizing all that, because it was a stunt in the beginning. But while doing it, while seeing it, we started to realize really that music brings people together. And no matter where they come from, their political, sexual, religious orientation, they have something so strong in common. And it's such a great human experience. And this is something that is lasting. It's not just about that day. It's the friendship, it's the connection, is the feeling of sharing something so big that it's so hard to share outside of that experience. So many musicians from that day, they've become friends. They to this day they still hang out, and we still organize like big events, big concerts in stadiums. Actually, we are really trying to put on gigs in the US, because it's not just about music and a great show. We give concerts in stadiums, but it's about the what we're creating under a human level.
I love all that. Where were the furthest people that came to play Learn to Fly? Do you remember, Anita? Do you remember, Fabio, where like the
I
longest
remember a guy
distance?
from Sicily, Fabio. Do you remember
Yes.
that drummer?
Yes.
He came from Sicily, so it means from an island. So he had to maybe he came without the drum, and we find a way to get him a proper drum when he was here. But he really wanted to come. Maybe some guys from Switzerland, or but I mean, they came from all over Italy. So that was
Yes.
moving. That was moving because at that time we were just guys from Cesena, a group of friends from Cesena that were trying to do something, you know, hilarious, funny, big, but unpredictable. So yeah, the participation was huge.
And in the concert that we gave in 2016, the year after, we had people from Canada, from Mexico, from all over the place, and they really make a very long travel to be there, and then they came back so afterwards. So it's intense. It's really hardcore.
It's pretty awesome that someone would pack up from Sicily, drive up the entire length of Italy to come and see you guys, or come across. How many countries is it from Switzerland to go to Italy? It's quite a few throughout Europe, I'm sure.
Yes. We have some. I mean, we have many musicians. Well, now we have musicians from all over the world. But back then, yes, we had like probably it was a car driven by 4 people coming from Switzerland to play with us. And yeah, it's been incredible.
Do you guys still remember the feeling of the night of the Foo Fighters show? Like it all came together. Hey, spoiler alert for everyone that's going to watch the movie. The show happened. We know it happened. You guys remember that feeling? The Foo Fighters were on stage, and Fabio, I saw you got to crowd surf on up there. And I mean, that just had to be a relief, but also, oh my God, this is really happening.
Yes, it's been incredible. I mean, I don't know. Again, it was like being in a bubble. And I was, at some point, I wasn't sure whether it was better to look on stage and see Foo Fighters performing, or in the stands, seeing all my friends going nuts for something so incredible that happened because of us, because of this crazy idea and this crazy video that we put out. I don't know. Sometimes I think of that moment, and I still get emotional thinking of that.
Absolutely. I'm sure you do. Of course. Again,
Yeah.
it's the feelings that music brings out of us, of all of that. And for you guys, for hearing Learn to Fly in every Foo Fighters song, I'm sure it takes you right back to so many different moments now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a song that probably does not, under my point of view, Learn to Fly does not belong to Foo Fighters anymore. It's like our song, you know?
What, by the way, why Learn to Fly? Why was that the one? Because the Foo Fighters have a zillion great songs. Why was that the one?
Well, there's like many reasons. First of all, it's not so hard to perform. So it's quite easy. The message about like learning to fly is very close to the concept of Rockin' 1000. And yeah, I mean, it was a kind of natural natural choice that turned into being like perfect for the project. So it was the perfect song for us.
Anita, did you get to enjoy the Foo Fighters concert that night, or were you still working and directing and making sure you got that final footage for your movie?
Guys, yeah, I was happy, but I had to work very hard because that night was important for the documentary. So I was, I worked to bring some interesting images for our film. But I can say that after the concert, we had a special time with Dave Grohl that came and joined us. So we spent a few hours together, and that was just a private, free of cameras time, and I could enjoy that time too and relax a little bit.
That's not bad, getting to hang out with the boys after the show. That's a nice cherry on top of everything. Now, Fabio, after that though, you kept you've been keeping things going with the Rockin' 1000, and I wanted to say thank you, because the video that came out just a couple weeks ago from Paris, doing My Hero in honor of Taylor. Like, I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan, and for all of us around the world, that meant so much to us. So thank you for doing that.
I mean, it was something that we felt we had to do. We could not play again, Learn to Fly, after the tragedy that happened. So we decided to change and play and sing a song that was close to the feeling that we had about Taylor. It turned out great. I mean, the stadium in France, at the Stade de France, it was packed. It was like more than 50,000 people, and performing that song, My Hero, in front of so many people, it's been, again, something unforgettable.
It's been all unbelievable. I remember talking about this story in 2015 about this crazy idea. I'm like, what? They're trying to get the Foo Fighters there to Italy. That's okay. Let's see if it happens. And then it did. And now we have the new documentary, We Are the Thousand, which is in theaters. It's on demand too, so you can watch it on the big screen at home, wherever you want to do it. Anita, what's now that this is done, what's next for you? What are you working on now?
I'm working on many stuff. I'm working on a new documentary. It's a music documentary. I cannot say anything at the moment. I'm still, just to be, how would you say, scaramantico, skeptic. No, how would you say that in English? I don't know the word.
You have to be secretive. I mean, I guess you got to be secretive about it.
But also it's, for the luck, you want the things that goes well. So
superstitious. Yes, superstitious.
Superstitious. That's, sorry, I didn't remember that word.
Listen, I butchered Fabio's name, so we all get a pass on this one today. And Fabio, what about you? Besides the Rockin' 1000, which is keeping you very busy, and the new documentary and everything, what else do you have going on, my friend?
Oh, well, I'm working full-time on Rockin' 1000. The project is to organize concerts all over the world. We are working really hard for giving concerts and gigs in the US, in South America, and yes, I'm basically working on that. We're working on new songs, not just cover songs, because we like the idea of creating songs that are like created for 1,000 people, not just cover songs. We're working on the community of musicians to make it larger, so any musician can join us and have the opportunity to perform with us. I mean, many things are going on, and I'm really excited. It's after the pandemic to start this way. I'm very happy and very confident for the future.
Did you ever think you'd go from being a geologist to leading a band of 1,000 people? Never, not a chance that was ever in your mind.
Not at all. I mean, geology. I mean, I used to study rocks, and I'm still in a kind of rock mood. It's a different kind of rock, but it's the same word. But for sure, I would have never imagined to give up everything and just work like this.
Well, it's been a heck of a ride, and we'll get to see it all with the new documentary again. We Are the 1000. It's out in theaters. It's out on demand at home, whichever way you want to watch it. I'm very excited. I'm going to be watching it this weekend and seeing how it all came together for you guys. And Fabio and Anita, thank you so much for doing this. And I want everyone also check out rockin1000.com at the website. You can see all the musicians there. I don't even know how you keep them all organized, but you got all the musicians there and performances and everything, including in France, My Hero for Taylor Hawkins. So guys, thank you so much. And this has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.